I'm feeling excited having my friend of 18 years. Hmm. uh,
Interesting.
Interesting, yes. All the way
Mhm.
from Better by Far.
Wow.
Yeah,
I even forgot it was called that.
yeah. A first class graduate of mathematics. Let me start telling your CV out. Dr. Fumilayo Abiola Ni Kazim.
Yay.
Good to have you in
Thank you for
Champions
having me.
Digest for the
Thank you.
very first time.
Wow.
How are you today?
I'm doing very well. Thank you. How are you doing yourself?
I'm okay. I'm fine. I'm fine.
Okay. That's good to know.
Yeah. Let's begin by you telling us something about you that maybe I yourself does not know.
Wow.
Yeah.
What don't you know about me?
I don't know.
Well, uh, well, there are so many sides to me, of course. And like over the years, we evolve. So
Fine.
the version of me that you knew then, I
Hmm.
think I've upgraded.
Beautiful. That's a good one.
I've upgraded. So,
Hmm.
like he said, my name is Fumilayo, and I actually like to be called Eniola now. So please address me as Eniola. Thank you
That's
very
fine.
much.
That's fine.
Uh-huh. What else? What else is there? Yeah, I studied mathematics. I had my MSc, my PhD in mathematics. And yeah, I'm currently working as a lecturer in Nigeria here.
Fine.
What
That's
does Dr. Ibitoye not know about me? I think he
interesting.
knows everything. I'm actually very, very disciplined. I'm very disciplined.
That's fine.
Um, I pay a lot of attention to details. I just love order. I like when
Hmm.
things are proper and done in good time and in their place.
That's
So I don't know. I guess maybe as we discuss, maybe you'll find out more things. I don't know.
that's
Maybe.
fine.
Let's wait
Thank you
and see.
very much.
Yeah.
I think that's a good one. I think one missing part she didn't mention is that she is a chorister and she can sing anything.
I sing. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
I
That's
sing. I
that's
sing.
very
I love to sing.
that's a good one. Thank you very much for sharing that.
Yeah,
Today
you're welcome.
we will be discussing together
Mhm.
on self-actualization.
Okay.
Self-actualization, and we really like you to talk from your own personal life
Mm,
experience on this
mm,
subject.
mm.
So permit me to begin by asking you, what is self-actualization?
Wow. Um, so when I got this topic, right, I went to Oxford to look for the actual definition, their definition of self-actualization. And what they say is that it is the fulfillment of one's talents and potentialities. Okay. So innately, everyone has this pressing need, this drive. In my
Mhm.
own words now, you have this drive, something that is compelling you, something that you really want to achieve. Um, when you achieve those things, when you come to terms or when you get to a point where you see that, oh, I had a dream that I was going to be this thing, and then you become that thing, maybe in a few years or in a moment of time, okay? You realize that, okay, this thing is now reality. It's no longer a dream. So when what you hope for becomes reality, or what you aspire for. And that could be many things. It could be
That's
in terms
fine.
of material things, it could be in terms of personal development, of course, and all of those things. So once that is achieved,
Mm-hmm.
you come into realization of those things. That's self-actualization. I think you can also call it self-fulfillment, development,
That's fine.
and other words like that. Yeah.
All right. That's a good one. Now, in the space of life,
Mm-hmm.
I know you have achieved a lot of things. Uh, can you just give us an instance of this fulfilling moment for you?
Um, hmm. One of the things that I really wanted to be good at, okay,
Yeah.
the most basic one that AY knows me with, of course, is mathematics. And I used to tell people, I tell people even till now that it was not always like this. It was
Hmm.
not always like this. When I was much younger, I had no desire for it. I didn't know anything about it.
Wow.
But I wanted to know it because I realized that some people were better at it than me. And I was always having to go to them if I wanted something, like the most basic things. Of course, I'm not ruling out collaboration or going to work with somebody, but
Yeah.
for the most basic of things, I had to go to them. Then I realized that I need to know these things. So I put in time, put in effort, and
Hmm.
I didn't even know I was going to study maths. And imagine, I studied mathematics.
Just
So that's one dream that I never knew I could achieve, and I achieved it. Yeah.
so, as in, you actually desire to study mathematics when you were feeling those jam then, as in, oh, it was just
I
by
filled
chance.
I filled mathematics in as one of my courses, as one of my courses of choice. Yes.
Anything. Wow.
Yes, I did. Because I had gotten to a point where I had developed myself to a point that I took extra lessons and I realized that, okay, this thing can actually be done.
Okay.
So it was one of the courses that I filled in on my form. Yeah.
All right. So why is this really significant on the journey to greatness?
It is self-actualization is something that it defines who you are actually. It's if you don't know who you are, there are so many things that you may not achieve.
That's fine.
So there are many things that help you to actualize the things that you want to actualize, or the dreams that you have. And I think that knowing your core values, okay, is one of those things. So if you know who you are and what you stand for, it's easy for you to actualize some of these things because the person that you are is the person that you are going to be or to be magnified, when you get to wherever it is you want to get to. So it is very important that we set goals for ourselves and desire to be better, of course, because when we desire to be better, we actually become better when we work towards those desires.
Thank you very much. You mentioned a keyword that resonates in my heart, the word core
Okay.
values.
Yeah.
So how do I identify my core values?
Well, I think that our core values many times are they are things that we grew up with, okay? So they are influenced by our environment, by our family,
Okay.
and maybe our religious beliefs or our cultural beliefs. For
Mm,
instance, what are the things that make me happy?
mm,
What is my ideal environment? I
mm,
like to be in a place where, for instance, things are quiet. I
mm,
value communication, for instance. That means that if you also ask yourself what makes you angry,
mhm.
and you realize that this thing makes you angry, that means that one of your core values is actually that thing that's the opposite of that thing that makes you angry. For instance, if you love communication
That's fine.
and you see that something is happening somewhere, you are supposed to communicate,
Mm,
but it's not happening and you get upset about that, that means maybe you probably value communication. And
that's fine.
because you there's the absence of that communication, you are having issues. So core values are things that define us as a person. And for us to identify those core values, we need to ask ourselves some of these questions that I have already stated. What makes you happy? What's
Mm,
your ideal situation? What makes you angry? Um, what was the happiest moment in your life? What were you doing when you were that happy? And
mm.
so some of those questions and many more you can ask yourself just to find out what core values you have.
All
Yeah.
right, that's really nice. There is a link between potentials, all right?
Mm.
You already mentioned that, and also core values. Now, when I have a goal set, just like well, now let me ask, when did you plan to finish with the first class?
Yes, I did.
Oh,
One of the one of my core values is actually excellence.
hmm,
Maybe I didn't mention it before. I pay very much attention to details, number one. I like to be excellent at whatever I do. If you tell me to clean a table, believe me that when you come back to that table, you will not meet it the same way it was. Like it will be it will be cleaner times two or times 10.
Wow.
That's always been me. And if you ask my mom, she would even if I'm not there, my mom can describe me to anybody that this is
Wow.
who I am. If you tell
Wow.
me to do something, I will leave it 10 times better than I met it. So that
Wow.
has always been me. So it rubbed off on that side of me.
That's fine.
So yeah, if I want to do anything, if I'm solving a problem, I give you more than what you asked for.
That's fine.
And that always guarantees success, of course.
That's a good one. Now,
Yeah.
I'm tempted to ask this. There is no need to, right? Everyone has personal ambitions. That's why I asked that.
Mhm.
Do you have a plan for a first class? There
Yes.
is there's a place of personal ambition, and
Mhm.
there's also a place of contentment.
Yes.
All right. So how can one balance these two, right? Using my
Yeah.
potentials.
Mm. Interesting. I think that there is hierarchy in everything, okay? Even our potentials, our needs, our desires, there are hierarchies to it. And to achieve balance, many times we say this, but it's not as easy as it sounds to
Mhm.
achieve balance. I think that we always need to ask ourselves why we are doing what we are doing. Okay. If you ask yourself, okay, why am I doing this thing? Is there a reason for me doing this thing? If you find out the reason that you have done this thing, then it helps you to actually self-reflect. Number one, if you don't know how to self-reflect, I don't think you'll be able to think about what you're actually doing or what is
That's
the
fine.
next thing you're doing. So as we are setting goals or as we want to achieve the next big thing, we need to stay with what we have done before and
Hmm.
see, oh, did that really make me happy? What
Hmm.
was my purpose? So when I had this first class, was I really happy?
Hmm.
And then take some time to enjoy that level. I mean, that win, that small win. It may be a small thing for you
Hmm.
or for people around you. Take your time to enjoy that
Hmm.
before you move on to the next thing. And the thing is that in the times that we are in now, there is the craze for affluence, for
Hmm.
fame, for wealth, and
Hmm.
all of that. So if one is not careful, you keep chasing many things, never stopping, taking time to ask yourself, okay, does this thing make me happy? Again, all of these things tie down to your personal values. If you
That's
value
fine.
family, for instance, and you are chasing a goal that will probably not give you time for family, ask
Hmm.
yourself, is this going to impact my family in the long run? Because not everything that we do actually makes us happy.
Hmm.
If you are chasing something that at the end of the day will make you happy, will make you, I mean, that's where contentment will come in. That's where balance comes in. I mean,
Fine.
that's what I feel. Um, yeah, basically. So
Wow.
always self-reflect, think about what you have done, where you are coming from, what you have achieved, and see if, okay, do I need to take a break now? Do I need to pursue the next thing now? We need to always do this. Otherwise, we'll continue to push, push, push,
Hmm.
and not actually think about all of the things that we have done.
Hmm. Wow.
Mm,
That's really nice. You've been able to balance personal belief, core
mm,
values, in the way through which one can actually live a balanced
mm,
life. That's really
yeah.
nice. But there are some people, number one, who have limiting beliefs about themselves.
Mm.
Is this what can you say about this?
Well, I think it's general, okay? It's just that there are levels to it.
All right.
Everybody has some sort of fear when you want to embark on a new project, for instance, okay? If you want to do something, there's always something telling you that, okay, can I do this thing? Is this thing going to be what I hope it will be, and all of that? So there is always something that is talking at the back of your mind, making you think that maybe something is not going to be possible, or you cannot actualize something, or you cannot realize something. I heard a quote, and the person said, do it afraid. Okay?
Hmm.
Do it afraid. So no matter how scared you are that something is going to fail, you need to do it afraid. Do it and think about it. Think about what you are doing,
mm,
still do it. Because at the end of the day, it is the doing that actually causes you to realize something. If there's no doing, if there's no action, if there is nothing, nothing is going to happen. And I
mm.
also suggest that, you break things down into small realizable goals. Okay,
That's fine.
little things that you can do each day. Maybe
Mm,
you don't need to spend 2 hours, maybe spend 30 minutes. Maybe you
mm,
want to become a better person, maybe maybe read one page, maybe
mm,
read a paragraph per day. Break it into small realizable chunks or pieces that you can do per day.
mm,
And if there are people that you look up to, there are people that are doing the things that you would like to do, follow them closely, watch what they do,
mm,
and try to, imitate them.
mm,
Do things in little bits and pieces. Talk to somebody about it, somebody that will not bring down your dreams or bring down your thoughts and tell you that that thing is too big. No, talk to somebody that's crazy as you, somebody that will say, oh, that thing is achievable, oh, you can do it. Even if it seems big, if you break it down like this, break it down like this, it will work. It's possible. So we need to also do that. If somebody is limiting themselves constantly, they should also always look for people that, you know, are risk takers, and these people will always inspire you to be better.
mm. Now,
Yeah.
why do people limit themselves? And okay, I'm two in one. Why do people limit themselves? Number one. Number
Okay.
two, why do you think the society place limits on people? For example, let's say the girl child. Because
Mhm.
now having a PhD in mathematics, being a female, wow, it's really amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, I think the way man is, from the beginning, we've always had our desires, and again, they are insatiable. And on the other hand, there are people that are brave, and there are people that are not as brave, you know. So there will always be people that will second guess themselves. There will always be people that will doubt their abilities.
Mm.
And I forget what the word is called now. When you actually doubt that, you actually like imposter syndrome. You
Okay.
think that, yes. So there are people that actually, even though they've done so many big things, can you
Yeah.
imagine? They still feel like, oh, I don't think I'm
Not
supposed to be
anything.
here.
Yeah.
Yes, they feel that they've not done anything. So man is constantly plagued with so many things. If it is not limiting themselves, it will be thinking that they are not good enough or they're not supposed to be somewhere. There's always something. So, and I think that many times we have a huge part to play. The society also has a huge part to play. But I think with time and with what's the word now? If you look at people whose lives inspire you and you see how they started and
Mhm.
you read their stories and you see that these people had it really tough and they had it really bad,
Mm,
and now they're able to do this with themselves, you realize that the only thing holding you down is fear, and that fear, it is you.
mm,
And again, like I said, somebody said, do it afraid. You are scared, everything is happening to you at the same time, but you need to still do it afraid.
mm,
Still push, still do that uncomfortable thing. Go and talk to that person. It may be uncomfortable. I read one post 2 or 3 days ago, and they said that envision the future you. Okay,
yeah.
you know that this is what you want to be in the future.
Mm,
For instance, you want to be the president of Nigeria or the president of anywhere. You want to, whatever aspiration you have,
mhm,
envision yourself. Or
mm,
can you see that picture? If you can see that picture, now, don't just see it as a picture. Think about the things that you are doing then. Look at yourself then. Think of how you'll be talking. Think of how you'll be walking. Think of the people that will be with you.
mm,
Okay? I guess that that person was trying to say that when you have a picture of that, a very vivid picture, not
yes.
just a dream, a reality, but it's something very vivid that you can say, oh, I'm working with the president of the United States. Oh, I'm doing this. Oh, I'm doing that. If that picture can be so vivid in your mind, it will
Mhm.
probably motivate you. Again, it doesn't work for everyone.
Yeah.
But for the most part, if you want to achieve something, if you want to rise above self-limitation and
Mm.
limitation from the society. You need to do away with it. And limitation from the society, of course, again, you cannot be limited by the society if you don't limit yourself already. No
Wow.
matter what limitations are going on, whatever anybody is saying that women cannot do this, men cannot do this.
Mm.
I, for one, I don't care. If I'm going to do it, I will do it because the onus is still on you.
That's
It is
fine.
not the society. You are the one that you are living your life. It's your life. So whatever you do with it, the society is not even going to know about it.
Mm.
Um, you know, unless it's really a big thing, like you are now the president. So the society will now say that, wow, this person finally became the president. So again, the society has no impact if you have already determined that this is what you are going to do. So um, say no to self-limitation, people.
Wow, that's beautiful. Say no to self-limitation. Really interesting. Thank you very much for that. I was thinking you will share with us maybe one example or a story where you do it even when you were afraid.
Hmm. Okay, I was thinking that when I started my PhD, that it was you I called. It was not you I called. I remember calling one of my friends when I started my PhD. I thought it was going to be a walk in the park.
Wow,
And the first few meetings that I had two supervisors, the first few meetings that I had with them, I realized that I had no clue what they were talking about.
interesting.
I went to meetings for like a whole month and I had no clue. I didn't know what was going on.
Wow.
I was lost.
Mm.
And each time I had to go back with something that I had done to
Okay.
tell them that, okay, this is what it is. I mean, we had meetings every week. So we were seeing weekly.
Yeah.
And I remember calling one of my friends and I told him that I don't think that I don't think I can finish this. I don't think I can do this.
Oh.
And he sent me a text and he told me that you're not a quitter. You need to finish what you have started. It always looks hard in the beginning, but
Mm.
the more you stick with it, the more you push for it, you see that if it was a hard door, a hard surface, it will begin to, loosen up. It will open eventually.
Mm.
So I kept at it. And it is always like that. If anything looks difficult, it's
Mhm.
always difficult only at first.
Wow.
Okay. So sometimes life gives you, somebody said you only have exams. You don't know if you passed any test of life if you've not written any exam. So if something is not hard, how do you know if you are able to succeed at it? So no matter how hard situations get, no matter how hard things are, just push. Stay there, stay with it, keep pushing, and definitely we will always emerge.
Wow, that's really nice. So, at what point will I know that I'm fulfilled? At what junction?
That's interesting
Yes.
because what's this economics guy? Is he Maxwell or what's his name? I can't remember.
Same here.
Economics class, secondary school. Our needs, is it our wants? We are insatiable.
Yeah,
We keep
yes.
looking for the next best thing. And that was why we talked about the relationship between fulfilling your dreams and being content actually.
Yeah.
So of course you know that you've achieved something if it is what you set out to do. When you
Mm,
get there, you know that you've gotten there.
mm,
Sometimes you even surpass it.
mm,
So and it's something that comes with, of course, if it was something that you chose to give you joy or pleasure, not just for the um, affluence that comes with it, you should be satisfied
mm,
that this is what I wanted to do. Now I have gotten there.
mm,
So you know that you've achieved something when it is maybe you probably wrote it down, and then in some years you see that you've actually actualized these dreams. You know that you've achieved it, and
mm.
then that's I think that that's really easy to know. So
Yeah, thank you
yeah.
very much. Now, sorry, was
Mhm.
there any instance that people around you never believed in what you were doing?
Mm,
I'm asking this question because of someone who may be listening to us. This person believes so much in himself, but the person is not receiving the right motivation because people around him who are supposed to provide support really do not believe in what the person is doing.
I understand your question, but perfectly.
That's fine.
Um, hmm, I would say that for me, not from my family, of course, but from people that I thought that were my friends. You see, it's very tricky for you to after doing all your BSc, you do masters, then you start doing a PhD. Some people ask you, what are you actually looking for? They look at you like, are you the only person studying? Why? Why? What's the why? They ask you questions, and those questions sometimes make you ask yourself if you're actually doing the right thing or
Hmm,
if you're not doing the right thing. I don't want to go into the subject now
that's fine.
because that question it went so wide, and people were asking me all these things you're doing, what are you doing them for?
Hmm,
And this is a matter that is related to, of course, you know what we were talking about before we started recording this video.
yes.
It's related to that, yes. And people kept on asking me questions, and I had to go back and ask myself that, am I doing the right thing? But
Hmm,
at the end of the day, I shook it off and I pushed forward. And I make it a point. This is me anyway. If something or someone does not resonate with what I'm doing or what I want to do, and they
hmm,
keep asking me funny questions or I keep getting uncomfortable anytime I'm around them, and because of that thing that I have decided to do, which they are not in support of, I would rather stay away. Because actually, if you want to do something with yourself, if you want to achieve something,
hmm.
you don't need a lot of people. You only need
That's fine.
like-minded people, people
That's
that
fine.
will encourage you, people that will see what you see. So if the person that is discouraging you is somebody in your family, stop telling them what you want to do.
That's fine.
Okay, stop telling them what your dreams. Start doing them silently
Hmm,
with people that are like-minded. Ask for their opinions.
hmm,
Ask for the ways that they are doing things.
hmm,
And with time, people always come around, actually, even those people that never agreed with the things that we decide to do. When they see that it's paying off, when they see how well you are doing, they eventually turn around and they're like, oh, this thing actually worked out. It's always like that. So never give up, because the people that you think are not supporting you today, they will support you by the time things turn out, you know, when things turn out to be very good for you, they will still support you and they'll say, oh, we never knew that. You will never know. So just keep doing what you are doing. That's my word
thank you very
on
much.
that.
And that's a very nice word he just shared. And I know already you've been trying to give us some strategies to actualize your dreams in line with your potentials. I don't know if you want to add one or two more to that.
Um, I think I said the other time that we need to self-reflect.
Yes.
So there are many ways that we self-sabotage, okay?
Okay.
And I think one of the reasons why we sabotage ourselves is that we don't think about what we do.
Hmm.
I
Thinking
think I also
about what
said,
we do.
yes, I
Now,
think
you
I
know,
also said that, sorry,
that's fine.
go ahead.
I was thinking if you elaborate more on thinking about what we do.
Yes, what I mean is our values, the people that we are deep down,
Yeah.
they always show up when we do anything, whether in your personal life, in your business, at your
Mm,
workplace, whatever. The
mm,
person that you are, your core values will always show up. And that
yes.
is why I said, think about what you do. If you're
Mm,
somebody that you love integrity so much, this is who you are personally. It will show in your work.
mm,
It will show when you have appointments with people. It will show when you have, business deals with people. It
mm,
always shows up. If you're somebody that um, you value patience, you value self-control. I value self-control a lot.
that's
I don't
fine.
like people that you cannot, if something is happening, I like to control myself. I don't go and rake off the top of my head. Do
That's
you see what
fine.
I mean?
Yes.
I value that a lot.
Mm,
So we must know the things that are core to us. We must know. That's why you need to self-reflect. What kind of person am I?
mm,
What happens in these situations? If something like this happens, how do I react?
mm,
How do I communicate? Do I love to communicate? Do I love order? Do I pay attention to even the tiniest things?
mm.
All of these things help us know who we are. When we can answer all of these questions,
That's fine.
then these things will also lead us whenever we are choosing whatever it is we want to pursue. Because again, the passions that we pursue, they
Yes.
are always in line with the things that are personal to us. If you are pushing to be um, for instance, AY now is pushing to be a lot of things.
Ah,
He's
interesting.
pushing to be a lot of things. Again, if you ask yourself, AY, you'll see that the reason why you're pushing for these things, think about your values, think about your personal beliefs. You are very strong-willed, okay? So you will see that the things that you're pushing for, they are in line with the person that you are.
Mm,
So we need to that's why we need to push and see that, okay, I know what my core beliefs are. I know what my core values are. This
mm,
thing I'm aspiring to, do they go in tandem? Are they working hand in hand?
mm,
Because again, at the end of the day, you cannot really deviate from who you are. We always stay on our own path.
mm,
Whether we know it or we don't know it, whatever we choose is who we are intrinsically.
mm.
So we we need to constantly learn and improve. If you want to be a better person, if you want
That's fine.
to do whatever it is you want to do, there's always avenues to learn and improve. There's LinkedIn learning. I was still sharing with some of my students. You need to improve. Go and look for courses to do.
Mm,
There are free courses everywhere. There are even courses where you can pay just a fraction of the cost, and
so,
you get better. Just keep learning,
mhm,
because when you stop learning, there's no improvement anywhere.
that's fine.
So I think just connect with your future. I said it already.
Yeah.
Where you are going to, if you can picture it, close your eyes, see yourself there. Then every other thing that you need to make that future possible, start working on them. Because if you can see it and you can work towards it, you can achieve it. Anything is possible.
Thank you very much for sharing this thought with us today. Yeah, but before we go, maybe second to my last question,
Yeah.
uh, it's possible that someone has lost an opportunity before, and
Mm,
listening to you today is like, well, I want to realign my gift to actualize something.
mm,
I've lost that opportunity, but I want
mm.
to start all over again. What do you have for that person?
Wow. That's hmm, that's a very serious question, because I know that in one way or the other,
Mm,
many of us have at one point lost things that we actually wanted to, that we really, really wanted.
that's fine.
Somebody said there's nothing like failure. We only learn. Whenever something happens, you learn from that and you move on. Okay?
Mm,
We don't wallow in self-pity. If it has gone, it has gone. What did you learn from that? It
mm,
you maybe I probably um I think I was pursuing something at some point in time. What happened? I can't remember what happened. I
mm.
was trying to do an application,
Okay.
and what happened? I can't really remember what happened.
Mm,
Maybe I thought I was supposed to submit on a particular date,
it's
but
okay.
I was supposed to have submitted like 2 days before, before that date. So I was thinking 2 days after.
Wow.
So I missed that window.
Mm,
And it was so painful because it was something that I really wanted. I wrote to them asking if I could still submit. They said, unfortunately, the space is full.
mm,
Since then, if I have once I read anything I'm applying for, I
yeah.
write out the dates on my calendar. I make it on my calendar, and it must make a sound reminder.
Uh,
I must hear trun, trun, trun.
mm,
You are doing this thing now.
that's
Or
fine.
I set a reminder like hours before that time, so
Mm,
that I know that this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
mm,
So if in any way we have lost anything, or you are watching and you've lost anything, it's actually not a loss. It's just something that you should learn from. It
Mm.
should teach you something. It should teach you to be better prepared for the next one because another one is coming. Life comes in different phases.
Mm.
If something doesn't work now, another thing is going to work. So think about what you've learned from that um, loss in quote, and then move on. If you have to study more, if you have to take more degrees, if you have to talk to somebody, if you have to write an email, please do it.
That's fine.
Sometimes when we think that we've lost some opportunities, an email could actually fix it. If you think that you've lost something, try, send an email. In my case, I sent an email and they said it was not possible.
Yeah.
And I was fine with that. But you, in your case, you that are watching or listening,
Yes.
if you send an email, it's possible that they say, oh, you can send it in or you can do that. So never ever give up. Don't stop. Life doesn't stop.
Mm.
Life continues. So whatever it is you are doing, whatever you think that you desire or you want, please continue pushing for it and don't stop learning.
Wow, thank you very much. Life does not give up, so don't give up. Ah,
Don't give up.
the parting words. What would that be?
Parting words. Interesting. You only get out of life what you demand from life. Okay? If um if you choose to, however you choose to live, everything is dependent on you, is dependent on what you demand out of life. If you want to be a better person, you can do it.
Fine.
If you want to do anything, if you want to achieve anything, if you want to travel the world, if you want to go to 36 countries, 20 countries, it is possible. People are doing it. I have read stories of people that even started without funds
Mm.
and they were able to achieve it. So find out what it is. Number one, you need knowledge. Okay, be knowledgeable about anything that you want to do or that you want to achieve. Once you are knowledgeable enough about it, that's the first step because you cannot do what you don't know about. If
Yeah.
you want to achieve anything, find out about it. Look for people that have done that.
Mm.
Speak to them. Look for people that will mentor you in that field or in that direction and start running with it. Take it step by step
Mm.
because only then can you actualize your desires, your passions.
That's
So
fine.
anything is possible. Only believe and demand what you want from
Thank you
life.
very much. Anything is possible. I forgot to mention when we started that Dr. Fumilayo, sorry, Dr. Eniola Abiola is a wife of only one husband. Well, thank you very much for taking time out to grace this meeting.
Thank you for
I
having me.
believe that all you've said is
Mm,
going to impact the lives of those who are listening. Uh,
I believe so.
expect testimonies from this. And we know that when we invite you again on another subject, we will
Hmm.
be available to grace this occasion.
Sure, anytime.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.